Hey, I'm Michael from Nimble Digital Marketing. Are you a soccer academy in the Australian market? Well, let's spend some time together going through all the cutting edge websites and the cutting edge digital marketing that's happening so we can make you stand out from your competitors. So jumping right in here, we're looking at the Google search engine results page for Soccer Academy Sydney. This is a great place to start to understand the landscape, who the players are, who's doing it well, who you can learn from. So at the top here, we've got our Google Places. This would be a great way to get some presence in here, optimizing your Google Maps listing essentially. And underneath that, we really start to see the SEO listings, and this is where we can really get some clues because Google is prioritizing people based on their user experience, page load speed, and all these good things. So in general, the sites that are at the top are probably better sites. There are other reasons why they may be there, but in general that applies. So let's take a look and see if we can get some learnings out of it. The first one is, it looks like an aggregator for academies is the top result. So let's go take a look at that. We can see here that this website, Premier Academy League, has a dedicated page just to the Sydney academies and actually lists them out. So this would be super important. It'd be a good way to basically get yourself a lot of traffic because it's listed as the first SEO result. So getting your academy listed on this page would be super important in terms of getting free organic traffic from Google. Next, we've got Sydney FC, obviously a really big name, and interesting that they don't have academy, they say junior pathway. So let's see what this junior pathway is. So we're on the Sydney FC website. This is obviously a very authoritative site. It would have lots of people visiting it and lots of people linking to this site already. So the page is not dedicated to soccer academies. It's kind of talking about all the different sorts of things that they do. So they have, a schools network. They have an elite level academy. They have school holiday stuff. So it's actually a pretty basic page. There's no video. It's just a bunch of text. It's pretty much as basic as you could get. But the key difference for them is they just have so much interest, so much passion around their club. So many people would already be linking to this that they get a leg up and get to rank higher in the search engine results page. That's not to say that we have to copy them from that point of view, because we're going to have to do some more special things to get higher in the page on Google, because we don't have a legion of 100,000 fans following us and writing blogs about us and so forth. So let's look at some of the other clubs, and academies that have made the first page of Google. So we've got Spark Football, Australasian Soccer Academy, Football Brilliance. That's an interesting one there. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so Football Brilliance seems to be an academy. It looks like they go straight into some video. I would say this is a pretty good experience. We show the coach there. There's a setup. So it looks like a looping of about a 12-second video. Video is great as long as it loads quickly and doesn't slow your site down. I don't mind the look of the sort of transparent logo. It's okay, but I definitely don't like the fact that they don't have a logo at the top left of their page, as is customary. It's not good enough to just have the word home there. I can kind of see what they're doing with this massive register now button. The key thing is that they have a register now button above the fold, which is great because it's all about conversions and call to actions. This is a very lucrative space, the Soccer Academy space. Quite often you are really just restricted by the amount of grass that you have, and that's how many classes you can put on. So you do want to be signing up as many children as possible to your academies. So a good site will have register now buttons going all the way through. I mean, it's a decent clean header. It doesn't look that sleek. What I will do is quickly look at the technology that this is built on. We can see that in this case, it's actually built on Wix, which is a common website builder. it doesn't look like they're running too much else. So although they have Google Tag Manager, which might be a small clue that they're running some Google ads, there's no sort of guarantee on that. We certainly don't see any Facebook pixels or anything else here that may be showing that they're running paid media in that area. Moving on down the page, this is pretty text heavy, but would be good for search engines in the sense that there'd be lots of keywords here that you might be able to rank on. But at the same time, from a sort of usability point of view, it's not optimal to have that much text there. It kind of will bother the user a little bit, especially on mobile devices. We have some sleek animations here with those popping up. Another oversized sort of button here that kind of blends into the background, which I don't really love. That yellow is a little hard to read with the white text, but we'll give it a pass. Now we've got a timetable call to action. That's interesting. So we've gone from one call to action up here with register now. It took us a bit of scrolling, but we've got to a find out more and then a timetable. So there are conversion points happening throughout the site, which is good. Some more video, which is good to see. So our vision, not bad video actually. You can tell this has been professionally shot, so I will pay that. I really don't like the padding that they've gone here with the footer. It really cheapens the site. That's stuck right on there. And also the fact that this form is out of whack with the text above it just gives it a really horrible sort of look and feel. The send button, again, they're going for that style of like oversized. It's not too bad. It wouldn't be my personal choice. I'd probably be capitalizing the E and D there as well, just to make it look a little nicer. And this footer here is really going to cause them trouble. So it doesn't have a privacy policy. It doesn't have terms and conditions. So you're basically going to have problems running any paid media or anything else to that effect. So you could say this is a passing grade, but there's definitely some big improvements that could be made here. We'll take a look at their register now page. Again, it's a little out of shape. You can see the images are not lining up with the text. They're just kind of floating around here, not lining up with anything. They're also using a form here, which is not a native form. I can see it says powered by a Jot form. It's kind of hovering over the submit button. This, of course, is going to create trust issues with the user. Being in Wix, of course, they much have a better shot at just using a native form here, which will be putting leads into Wix, but also pumping them out to your favorite CRM or to your email address or to a Google Sheet or somewhere where you can actually use them. But yeah, this white form just hanging out here doesn't look good. So let's take a look at maybe one or two other sites. There is one here called Soccer de Brazil, which is quite a popular one. Let's take a look and see what those guys are doing in terms of their landing page experience. So we have firstly that they're on a .com. That doesn't sound ideal. If they're trying to recruit Australians, they should be on a .com.au. So that's the first thing, and that's probably a big reason why they're right down the page here and not showing up in a higher position. They'd probably be halfway up just by changing to a .com.au and establishing that trust with Google. I can also see that just finished loading now, so that's a very slow site. I'm guessing this video is very heavy and would be hurting them. So if someone hasn't been to the site before and it's loading for the very first time, that would be a sort of a real slowing down of user experience. So it's a great video. They probably need to cut that down to more like 15 seconds and get that to work well. To be honest, the menu, the fonts being used here, they're a bit cruddy. They're not very sleek. Let's take a look at the technology that they're using. So let that load. While that's loading, we will, here we go. So we've got WordPress. So that's interesting. They are using a great platform that will scale with them and has lots of good templates to use. And it's basically industry standard. We can see that they're running Google ads because they're using Google ads conversion tracking. They're using Google Analytics, although they haven't upgraded to the latest GA4. So maybe they're cutting edge, maybe they just fell behind in that area. They're running some meta ads. So we see the Facebook pixel. So they're probably running Instagram ads and Facebook ads, which would be really cool. They're definitely doing Google ads as well, as we can see here from the advertising point of view, and lots of other things going on. So lots of plugins, SEO plugins to get the most out of WordPress. I would say that these guys are a little bit more advanced in how they're promoting their actual store. Moving on, outside of the video, this would not be best practice, just embedding a YouTube video that kind of says watch on YouTube and puts the title at the top. It's not the sleekest way to go about it. You'd be better off hosting it in Vimeo or something else like that, so it gives a much more native look and feel, or going directly within the WordPress template. Lots of text here, which again, I don't think works that well. Just to have lots of white text, it makes the site look unfinished and probably not the best user experience. This here, is a low-grade image. I can see that there's pixelation. It's probably not done by a professional photographer. A big no-no is the fact that they're actually just put the text as an image over the top. So if I minimize that, it's not wrapping underneath. On mobile devices, that's going to be very, very small to see. So definitely not a good one. Scrolling a bit further on, we see Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. So they are pushing their socials quite a bit, which is good to see. And an interesting way to do it with the animation. So that's probably a good native feature that's coming out of WordPress. I do like the fact that they're using testimonials. Anything involving kids, of course, people are going to be super, concerned about and wanting to check that everything is safe and everything is good. I think that having no image or not saying where the person is from is helping? Definitely not. So they could have done probably better with that in how they display it. This white background on a light gray without a border obviously doesn't look nice either. The major tournaments they're engaged in, that's nice. This is more just showing authenticity and establishing more credibility, because it's saying, hey, we compete in all these things. So that's good. And now this footer is much better than the previous one we saw. It does have terms and conditions. It does have a privacy policy. So these guys can run paid media. We are giving people the ability to subscribe. So let's go off and check out their socials now. So we'll dive in. Let's go straight to Insta and see whether they're doing a good job with that. Just hovering over and looking at the like count and comment count. Actually pretty good. So we can see here that they've got some raw videos up, but they are getting over 100 likes in many cases, which is really cool. So maybe I'll just click on a random one. Let's click on this one here. It's got some music over it as well. You can see the name of the artist. And so they're just showing some raw footage of the kids scoring goals and whatnot. Of course, this is going to resonate really well. And I would almost say that they have a missed opportunity on their homepage. They should be definitely having tiles here that just pulls in the latest content from their Instagram and places it somewhere down the bottom as 5 tiles, so they have that content. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe. And if you need anything digital marketing related, reach out to Nimble either in our Sydney CBD office or via a video call.